这少城主怎么长得比画上还丑？
驸马
Insulting the most powerful woman in the city to her face, Lu Yunxuan just realized that the monster he's been trying to divorce for 3 years is actually a stunning beauty, but his plan to escape this marriage started long before this awkward reunion. In Yunque City, women rule with an iron fist, while men are merely expected to be obedient ornaments. Yunxuan was forced into a political union with the legendary Xiao Mingzhao, only to be abandoned on their very first night. 3 years of being the city's laughingstock has turned his heart to stone. He doesn't care about her glory or her newfound beauty, he just wants his freedom, and he's willing to do anything to get it.
沈学霸，像不像生不出女儿的模样？
3 years later, the war hero is finally coming home. While the whole city celebrates, Yunxuan is busy painting his face to look like a sickly ghost.
If she wants a husband, she can find one that doesn't look like he's 1 foot in the grave. I'll make sure she finds me so repulsive that she'll sign the divorce papers herself.
While waiting at the city gate, Yunxuan spots a merchant selling portraits of the young city lord. He can't help but join in on the mockery, unaware that the person he's insulting is standing right behind him.
I was just trying to buy a few of these ugly drawings to ward off evil spirits. How was I supposed to know the real monster was actually a stunning beauty?
长这么丑，可不得绕着走。我成，哎，买10张。
Stunned by Xiao Mingzhao's unexpected beauty, Yunxuan quickly remembers his mission. He puts on his best performance of a dying man to avoid going back to the manor.
I have to stay focused. No matter how handsome she is, she's still the woman who abandoned me. Time to play the deathly ill card and hope for a quick exit.
恐怕时日无多，想到以后都不能再伺候少城主了，所以拼着一口气来城门迎接。
Back at the manor, Yunxuan starts his death plan to provoke his wife. He deliberately smashes an expensive vase, hoping to be punished and kicked out of the house.
One broken vase should be enough to start a fight. But this woman, she has a very strange way of interpreting my sabotage.
花开满地，祥瑞之兆。多谢驸马。
The sabotage fails, and now Yunxuan faces a much bigger problem, the wedding night he's been avoiding for 3 years. Xiao Mingzhao is getting way too close for comfort.
She's talking about checking my body? This pervert. If I don't think of something fast, my plan for a clean divorce is going to turn into a complete disaster.
驸马，你的血好香啊，居然还有一股16味，果真与众不同。看来今晚我得好好给驸马检查一下身体。
Forced to scrub her back, Yunxuan's anger starts to melt away when he sees the horrific scars covering Xiao Mingzhao's skin. He realizes the life of a female general isn't all glory.
I wanted to hurt her, to make her feel the pain she caused me. But seeing those wounds, I can't help but feel a pang of pity. Maybe she didn't leave me out of spite after all.
没有，你也是为了保驾护航。他这3年过得也挺辛苦的吧？其实细算起来也不都是他的错。算了，这次先不跟你计较。
Despite his momentary sympathy, Mingzhao's constant flirting keeps Yunxuan on high alert. She uses a simple plum to turn the atmosphere into a teasing game of cat and mouse.
She's definitely trying to eat me, not the fruit. Every time I think I've found a way out, she pulls me back in with that smug smile of hers.
驸马怎么了？李子吃多了容易上火，驸马还是小心一点。今晚先来我寝殿，我帮驸马泄火。
The cultural gap between a refined gentleman and a blood-stained warrior becomes painfully clear when Mingzhao tries to present him with gifts from the battlefield.
Who in their right mind gives their husband a bloody blade as a romantic gesture? We are living in 2 completely different worlds, and this just proves we'll never work out.
这个是北境叛臣首领的爱刀，原本呢也是死死揣在怀里不肯给我的，不过最后还不是为了感谢我放过他的手下，就用送给我。
Desperate to avoid the bed, Yunxuan wets the mattress and finally resorts to the ultimate lie. He claims to have a physical dysfunction that prevents him from being a husband.
It's a shameful thing to admit, but it's my last line of defense. If this doesn't make her want to divorce me, nothing will.
那驸马，今天就先在床上将就一晚吧。我都这么辛苦了，驸马是不是应该好好伺候我一下？
Mingzhao watches him sleep, remembering the boy who once comforted her.
轩郎，你终于是我的枕边人了。
Mingzhao notices something hidden. My secret identity is at risk.
驸马还挺主动的，惹得我都喘不过气。不过驸马，你为什么睡觉的时候也不解玉佩，都硌到我了？
The tension reaches a breaking point in the royal court. The chancellor publicly shames Yunxuan for still having his virginity mark after 3 years of marriage, accusing him of dishonoring the city.
They think they're insulting me, but they're actually giving me exactly what I want. I'll use their narrow-minded rules to finally break free from this golden cage.
既然你们都把话说到这个份上，就别怪我顺坡下喽。 城主，臣对少城主没有不敬，只是臣自幼体弱多病，恐怕是没办法伺候好少城主了。
儿臣回城前，曾让天际阁的道长替儿臣卜了一卦，儿臣此行杀戮过重，需守戒7749天，才能免遭血光之灾。至于驸马的身子，只是因为太过思念我，思念成疾，调理几日便好，并无大碍。
The Chancellor is losing her patience. 3 years in the manor, and the marriage still hasn't been consummated, which in this city is a direct insult to the crown.
I was ready to take the blame and walk away with my divorce papers, but Mingzhao stepped in with a wild lie about a 49-day abstinence curse to protect my neck.
The city lord isn't buying the excuses. She views Yunxuan as a weak, useless link that needs to be fixed or replaced immediately.
While I was busy planning my exit, the Chancellor's favorite consort was already plotting to turn me into a puppet who knows how to please his master.
少城主辛劳多年，不如让臣带着几位贵夫去教教驸马，也好让少城主早享人间喜乐。
I thought I had 7 days of peace, but the next morning, 3 experts from the palace arrived to give me a crash course in being a professional husband.
Meet the dream team: a master of music, a master of strength, and a master of seduction. They aren't here to talk, they're here to work.
这就是城主府的贵妇们，城主吃的可真好。
Training turns intimate. I must fail these lessons on purpose.
帖子不错，别跟他们学那些没用的。要知道，男人会撒娇，女人魂会飘飘。
To prove I was a hopeless case, I decided to give Mingzhao a performance she'd never forget by playing the zither like I was trying to kill a cat.
He expected her to be disgusted, but the young city lord has a very peculiar taste when it comes to her husband's lack of talent.
我仿佛看到了千军万马。
I fake an injury to escape, but it only makes her more excited.
驸马角色，这几日跟着贵夫们辛苦上课，今晚我绝不辜负你的一片心意。
I thought I'd managed to dodge her for the night, but the 3 consorts were waiting for me in the shadows with a special gift.
They aren't taking no for an answer. They force-feed him a potent tonic, ensuring that the young city lord's night won't be wasted.
不用休息，喝完就好了。
难得少城主今日高兴，你赶快把药喝了。
The medicine hits hard. If she touches me now, my plan is over.
驸马，你怎么回来了？不是说力不从心吗？
I woke up the next morning with my virtue miraculously intact, but the way she's looking at me tells me I won't be so lucky next time.
The close call has given Yunxuan a new sense of urgency. He needs to liquidate his assets and get out of this city before he loses his heart, along with his freedom.
驸马，在藏什么呢？昨晚那么热情主动的驸马，我还是第一次见。
Yunxuan's plans to flee are put on hold when he finds his friend Jinshu in tears. A powerful general is trying to force him into a miserable marriage.
General Chu is a notorious creep who has already discarded 17 husbands. I can't let my friend become the 18th victim of her cruelty.
我听说那个楚将军是个变态啊，石岐坊小郎不是死了就是残了他。
I'll fight her with scandal, spreading rumors that she's a demon.
听说了，说这个邪祟啊专袭男子元阳，等吸过了18个人，这云雀城就要变成鬼城了。
The rumors spread like wildfire, forcing General Chu out of the shadows and straight into the trap I set in the middle of the marketplace.
She thinks her rank makes her untouchable, but she has no idea that she's walking into a fight she can't win with just a blade.
诸位，本人天机阁陆小凤。
She wants a fight? Fine. But she has no idea that I'm not just a weak consort. I'm the one holding the leash to her entire reputation.
就是你这个江湖骗子，在诋毁本将军。不过看你这个模样，长得不错，要不然本将军也不介意接你回府当我的第19房。
Lu Yunxuan has turned the marketplace into a stage, playing the part of a divine messenger to trap a monster.
I've painted a target on General Chu's back, and the angry crowd is my weapon. If she wants a fight, I'll give her a revolution.
General Chu arrives, not with an apology, but with the arrogance of a predator who thinks she can buy or bully her way out of any scandal.
She looks at me and sees a new toy for her harem. She has no idea that every word she speaks is digging her own grave in the eyes of the people.
铺子，啊，你说的是那个布庄的小掌柜吧？哼，他穿的那么浪荡，不就是对我勾引谄媚吗？我这么心地善良，当然得赶快成全他。
The tension snaps. As the crowd roars for justice, the general draws her blade, ready to silence the priest forever.
I stood my ground, waiting for the one person who could actually end this madness. And right on cue, the real power of Yunque City arrived.
笑，男人生下来就是为了嫁人的，他们的意愿 没必要尊重。至于你说的天启，我连地狱都闯过，我又怎么会怕呢？
Xiao Mingzhao steps between the blade and her husband, her presence alone enough to freeze the general's murderous intent.
I played the part of the humble priest, but seeing her stand there, protecting me, felt more real than any lie I've told today.
贫道无碍。
Chu Xiaoxiao tries to hide behind her military rank, dismissing the lives she ruined as mere ants beneath her boots.
She thinks being a woman gives her the right to crush anyone weaker. She doesn't realize that Mingzhao is a different kind of leader.
自古男子与女子分工不同，但是如果没有男子在背后的付出，女子又何谈保家护城、建功立业？你一句蝼蚁，就要抹杀掉男子的所有付出，简直狂妄至极。
The law in Yunxuan City has finally caught up with the general. Despite her screams of past glory, the guards move in.
The tyrant is dragged away, but the way Mingzhao is looking at me now, it's like she's trying to see through my robes and straight into my soul.
你不能废处置我！我要见城主！我要见城主！放开我！抓得好啊！放开我！
Back at the manor, Mingzhao plays a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the Taoist who looks suspiciously like her husband.
She's teasing me, asking about our wedding night while I'm sweating under this fake beard. She knows. I'm sure she knows.
我想算姻缘。我与驸马女才男貌，佳偶天成。我也一直心悦驸马，不知道长能否算出我与驸马何时才能共度良宵？
The charade falls apart. The priest is unmasked.
My beard fell off, and with it, my last bit of defense. But instead of anger, I found her hands on me, checking for wounds I tried to hide.
常扭的瓜不甜，但止渴。如果实在不行，我就给他扭断。道长，你怎么吓得连胡子都掉了？不会是故意装成道士模样来亲亲我吧？
Mingzhao reveals the truth, shattering the rumors I believed for years.
楚潇潇的罪证我已经收集好了，原本打算今日就处置他的，没想到还是晚了一步。
The walls crumble. She's promising me a lifetime, not just a marriage.
没关系，我们来日方长。
I never planned for this. Am I really falling for her?
嫁进少城主并非我所愿，合理也是我坚持了3年的信念，但明朝
A gift of silk armor becomes a bridge between two hearts. Lu Yunxuan has finally stopped running.
I made this to protect her, but she's the one making me feel safe. I've taken the first step, and she's ready to walk the rest of the way with me.
你放心，你走出了第1步，接下来的99步都由我来走。我一定会非常努力的，让你知道我有多喜欢你。从今往后，就由我来呵护你，照顾你。
The past returns. My father and brother are at the gate.
大事不好了！大事不好了！
这俩人过去3年1次面没露过，今天唱的是哪出啊？黄鼠狼给鸡拜年，肯定没安好心。不知父亲和兄长大驾光临，有何贵干？
My father is here to replace me with my brother.
你一个庶子，除了一副皮囊没有任何可取之处。当初也不知道使了什么手段勾引了少城主，真以为自己演技变凤凰了。
The reunion turns sour as they begin their verbal assault. Zhou Yuanshan tries to exert his patriarchal authority, demanding his son bow down to the brother who just insulted him. He expects the same blind obedience he commanded back at the Lu estate, unaware that the power dynamics have shifted entirely.
He thinks he can still treat me like a servant in my own home. He forgot that I am no longer just a neglected son. I am the consort of this city. If anyone is going to kneel today, it certainly won't be me.
要跪也是你们跪，我是驸马。
Mingzhao enters, shielding me from my father's malice.
放肆！这可是少城主府，真当是你们的乡野之地吗？
Seeing his father fail, Lu Yongcheng tries a different tactic, the classic, clumsy beauty routine. He presents a jar of homemade plum blossom wine, hoping to charm the young city lord with his supposed elegance and refinement.
My brother is laying it on thick with the picked with my own hands act. He thinks a bit of fermentation and a pretty smile will make Mingzhao forget who her husband is. He's trying to seduce her right in front of me, but he's about to find out that Mingzhao's taste is a bit more sophisticated.
梅花酒，轩郎喜欢，你一定得先尝尝。
The father-son duo tries one last time to impress with a rare pearl, boasting of its moonlight essence. They are desperate to prove that Yuncheng is the one who can bring wealth and prestige to the manor, unaware that Mingzhao has a much larger collection.
They brought a pebble to a palace and called it a treasure. Mingzhao isn't just defending my honor, she's turning their pride into a joke. Seeing their faces when she pulled out a pearl the size of a fist was worth every insult I've endured.
这颗夜明珠只是轩郎送我的礼物中的冰山一角，你们这颗 勉强给宣郎当个弹珠玩玩吧。
The family drama is interrupted by the arrival of a much more formidable opponent, Mingzhao's wet nurse, Yinqi. As a high-ranking manager from the city lord's estate, her words carry the weight of tradition and authority, and she wastes no time in targeting Yunxuan.
This woman has more power in this house than my father ever dreamed of. She's already decided I'm a failure because I haven't served Mingzhao properly. She's using my status as a concubine's son to humiliate me, and for once, Mingzhao's protection might not be enough.
原本我以为驸马是庶子出身，这好歹也应该懂得怎么伺候人吧。没想到嫁进府里3年了，还留着手工纱，让少城主被全城百姓笑话。
位下从母，继下从妻，妻子从女为3从，君德、君严、君容、君恭为4德。
The nanny is clearly impressed by Yuncheng's display of virtue, and Mingzhao seems to be playing along with the charade. She praises the intricate stitching on the sachet, much to the delight of the Lu family and the confusion of her husband.
Mingzhao is actually praising his embroidery. I can't tell if she's just being polite to her nanny or if she's genuinely impressed. Seeing her handle that sachet makes my blood boil. Is she really going to let this snake into our home?
这梅花针脚细密，颜色艳丽，与乳母您很是相配。
The nanny isn't just here to judge. She's here to ensure the city gets an heir. She presents the couple with a secret treasure, a manual guaranteed to produce a daughter. The atmosphere in the room shifts from political to intensely personal.
A secret treasure for having a daughter? The nanny is pushing for results, and Mingzhao is leaning right into it. She's looking at me with that playful glint in her eyes, telling me I need to study tonight. I wanted a divorce, but now I'm being pressured into a legacy.
驸马，好好学，今晚我来验收。
The nanny uses a convenient mouse problem to shuffle the sleeping arrangements, successfully separating the couple. She claims she is too frightened to stay in her own room, forcing Mingzhao to offer her the main chambers while Yunxuan is sent to the side courtyard.
A mouse in the room? It's the oldest trick in the book, and the nanny is playing it with a straight face. She's clearing the path for my brother, and she thinks I'm too stupid to see through it. I'm being exiled to the courtyard while a trap is being set in my own bedroom.
要不让乳母来我寝殿睡吧，我带驸马去偏院。
The father and brother launch their final, desperate plan, a midnight wine delivery to Mingzhao's room to force a scandal. They believe that once the deal is done, the young city lord will have no choice but to take Yuncheng in as a consort.
My brother wanted a shortcut to power, but he just walked into a nightmare of his own making. He thought he was walking into Mingzhao's bed, but he found the nanny instead. The fallout from this night is going to be legendary. But will it finally get my family off my back, or just start a new war for the throne?
这是借着送酒，要来跟我私会呀！我就喜欢这种懂事的小郎君。
3年前我离开的时候就发过誓，一定要补你一场洞房花烛。
While my brother's scheme backfired into a nightmare with the nanny, Mingzhao was preparing a different kind of surprise for me.
I was blindfolded, my heart racing, wondering if another storm was coming. But when the cloth fell, I wasn't in the battlefield. I was back at our wedding night, surrounded by the same red candles and silk. 3 years of cold distance melted in that one moment. She didn't just come back. She came back to claim the night we lost, and fulfill a promise I thought she had forgotten.
The romantic atmosphere deepens as Mingzhao reveals that our union wasn't just a political coincidence or a random decree from the city lord.
I always thought I was just a pawn in her game, a name picked out of a hat to satisfy a tradition. But then she told me about a little boy she met years ago, a boy who gave her hope when she was most helpless.
像黑夜里最闪耀的星星，照进了我的心底。云雀城有个规矩，少城主必须大婚后才能出征。于是，我便借着城主逼婚之际，指婚于你，让你名正言顺地做我的夫郎。大婚那晚，我突然接到边境急报，所以不得不马上启程。
I wasn't a replacement for some lost love. I was the destination she had been marching toward all along, the brilliant star she kept in her heart through every battle.
The weight of the past 3 years finally lifts, replaced by a promise that transcends city rules and the scars of war.
I spent 3 years planning my escape, calling her a monster in my head because I was afraid of the rumors. Now, looking into her eyes, I realize I haven't just found a wife, I've found my sanctuary.
无数关于你的谣言，都让我觉得自己嫁了个只懂打打杀杀的恶人。所以这3年来，我一心只想着和离。但是和你相处的过程中，我发现你和谣言并不同。没想到，是我捡到了宝，嫁给了个顶天立地的大英雄。
She swore never to fail me, and for the first time in my life, I actually believe that someone will stay. This isn't just a marriage anymore. It's a bond written in the stars.
But in Yunque City, peace is a fragile luxury. Just as we settled into our new life, The echoes of my brother's disastrous night began to shake the manor's foundations, bringing a scandal that even the city lord couldn't ignore. The morning sun brings a crowd of gossiping servants and my frantic father, all gathered outside the guest chambers to witness a disgrace they think is mine.
My father expected to find me humiliated, caught in some trap. Instead, the door opened to reveal Manager Yin, and the person in her bed wasn't me. It was the virtuous brother he always praised.
你们放心，陆郎昨晚伺候的甚好，我不会亏待他的。
My brother wanted to climb into a powerful bed to replace me. Well, he found one, just not the one he planned for. Now, the whole city knows his virtue was just a desperate grab for power.
Faced with the ultimate disgrace, my father tries to salvage the situation by demanding a marriage that would tie our family to the city lord's estate at any cost, even his son's dignity.
He's actually asking Mingzhao to bless this mess. He doesn't care that he's selling my brother to a woman old enough to be our mother, as long as there's a title involved.
将陆云成许配给殷长氏做正夫，择日成婚吧。
Mingzhao's justice is a cold dish. My brother got exactly what he schemed for, a permanent place in the manor. But as the husband of the terrifying nanny Yin, he's trapped in the very cage he tried to build for me.
With the family leeches finally dealt with, life in the manor takes a turn for the domestic, though domestic isn't exactly where my talents lie.
I tried to be the perfect husband, really. I wanted to show Mingzhao I could handle the household. But apparently, Kitchens and I have a very explosive relationship.
什么？他有事没有？
Lei Zhu was ready to list all my failures as a man, but Mingzhao didn't care about the broken plates or the smoke. She only cared if I was hurt. Her protection is the only thing that makes me feel safe enough to fail.
While I might be a disaster with a spatula, my real strength lies in the one thing Yunxuan City's warriors usually overlook, the cold, hard logic of the books.
Mingzhao was drowning in military accounts, her head spinning from the chaos of numbers. It was time to show her that her fragile husband has a mind for more than just broken dishes.
我帮你。你看啊，这堆是军械耗费，点按分类，在下面标明年份和损耗率。这是粮草收支，不能只记总数，每担粮食的用处耗损都要单独列出。
The way she looked at me then, it wasn't just affection. For the first time, she didn't just see a husband to protect. She saw a partner who could help her lead the city.
Feeling inspired by our growing bond, I decided to try my hand at a traditional gift. But it seems my artistic vision is a bit misunderstood by the manor staff.
I spent days on that belt, pouring my heart into every stitch. It was supposed to be a symbol of our love, two mandarin ducks swimming together in harmony.
哦，对，苏锦书苏公子来找父。
Mingzhao wore it like it was made of the finest gold, defending my chickens against the laughter of her guards. To her, it didn't matter what it looked like. It mattered that it was from me.
The light-hearted days are cut short by the arrival of an old friend. Su Jinshu appears at our gates, draped in tears and a carefully crafted tale of woe that smells like trouble.
Jinshu says he's been tainted by a general's proposal and is being forced into a marriage with a 60-year-old man. He looks like a victim, but I know how his mind works. He's looking for a way up, and he's looking at my wife.
那个女人啊，如此普通却如此自信。她说我被那个淫魔看上，就已经不结了，只能嫁做个小郎。玉轩，我实在是没有地方可以去了。
Mingzhao, ever the champion of the oppressed, isn't just listening to a friend's plea. She's hearing the systemic injustice that treats men like disposable property.
Her words moved me to my core. She's not just protecting a guest, she's challenging the very foundation of Yunxuan City's arrogance. She sees the value in us that no one else does.
你一句蝼蚁，就要抹杀掉男子的所有付出，简直狂妄至极。
I agreed to let him stay, moved by her passion and her sense of justice. I didn't realize that by opening our doors, I was inviting a fox into our den who was already plotting to take my place.
Su Jinshu wastes no time making himself at home. He mistakes Mingzhao's basic hospitality for romantic interest, spinning a fantasy where he is the new favorite of the manor.
He thinks a polite smile from the city lord means he's halfway into her heart. He's already acting like he owns the place, measuring his influence against mine while I'm standing right there.
之前的事，多谢少城主，锦书感激不尽。这次冒昧前来，恐怕得在府上叨扰几日，还望少城主见谅。
His arrogance is almost laughable. He thinks he can charm a woman like Mingzhao with a few fake tears and a sprained ankle. He has no idea what we've been through together.
He mocks my belt to humiliate me, but his plan backfires.
云轩，我刚看到少城主的腰带上绣了2只鸡，少城主是喜欢鸡吗？这喜好属实有些特别啊。
The look on his face when I told him I made it was priceless. He came here to steal my life, but he's about to find out that this chicken has sharp claws and Mingzhao isn't looking for a new husband. But how far will he go to prove me wrong?
今天我听到府里好几处下人们都在夸苏公子，他们说苏公子上得厅堂，下得厨房，简直就是模范郎君。他们还说 还说
While I was busy balancing the manners accounts, Su Jinshu was busy building a fan club among the servants with a carefully rehearsed performance of domestic perfection.
He's not just cleaning, he's staging a play. Every flick of the broom is a calculated move to show everyone how virtuous he is compared to the city lord's supposedly lazy husband.
今天我听到府里好几处下人们都在夸苏公子，他们说苏公子上得厅堂，下得厨房，简直就是模范郎君。他们还说
Su's scheme works better than he hoped. Within hours, the manor is buzzing with whispers that the guest is more fit to be the consort than the actual master.
Mo Sheng came running to me, his face pale with the news. The servants are already crowning Su as the model husband. It's clear the fox in our den is finally showing his teeth. If he wants a fight for the city lord's heart, I'll give him one. It's time to stop playing nice and start getting serious about protecting what's mine.
The next morning, Mingzhao finds a very different husband waiting for her, one who isn't afraid to show a little possessiveness.
I've spent too long being the fragile one. With a rival like Su Jinshu lurking in the hallways, I need to remind Mingzhao exactly why I'm the only one who belongs in her arms.
群狼环伺，不卖力点就要被偷家了。
Su tries to paint me as a failure, but Mingzhao sees through him.
少城主千万别怪云轩，她未出嫁的时候就喜欢往外跑，对刺绣、烹饪向来不感兴趣，不像我，自幼喜欢研习这些。如果我嫁进府里，
Mingzhao's protection is a shield Su can't pierce. She didn't marry me to be a servant. She married me to be her partner. Su's virtue is just a joke to her.
Mingzhao has had enough of the subtle games. She decides to solve the Su Jinshu problem by finding him a wife of his own, a powerful general who needs a husband.
It's a brilliant move. She's offering him exactly what he claims to want, a high-status marriage. But the look on his face tells me that status isn't what he's after. He's after her.
这个苏锦书对我的心思不单纯，轩郎把他当挚友，我得赶快让他离开这里，绝不能让他伤害到轩郎。说起衣裳，前几日来府中的沈离，我看他身上的衣裳还是前几年的款式，才得知原来他还未婚配，家中没人料理这些琐事。
Backed into a corner, Su Jinshu finally drops the mask of the humble friend and reveals his true, delusional ambition.
He actually said it, in front of both of us. He doesn't want a general. He wants to move into this manor and take my place, claiming he's only here to join the family.
金叔，我知道你之前的未婚妻是官宦家的嫡女，但她自己没有半点官职。沈校尉是堂堂四品官衔，前途无量，并且你嫁过去之后，直接就是正府。
The sheer audacity of this man is staggering. He's twisted every polite smile from Mingzhao into a sign of affection that only exists in his head.
Mingzhao's patience has reached its limit. She doesn't just reject him, she sets a hard deadline for his departure.
Su tried to play the victim, accusing me of being the one who's not good enough. But Mingzhao's voice was like ice, giving him 3 days to pack his lies and leave.
轻贱！陆云轩，凭什么你可以嫁给少城主，而我就只能许配给个当兵的小官？你哪点比得上我？
Even as he's being kicked out, Su Jinshu tries to poison the well, mocking the idea of a woman being loyal to just one man.
He thinks every marriage in Yunxuan City is a transaction of power and multiple husbands. He doesn't understand that what Mingzhao and I have is something he'll never find.
我不信，当初你费尽心思当上驸马，享受荣华富贵，怎么可能会甘心放手？我看你就是仗着自己得宠，想要独占所有的好处吧。
I would rather walk away with nothing than share her heart. That's a level of dignity Su Jinshu can't even comprehend.
Disgraced, Su plots a dark revenge against our marriage.
陆云轩，既然你说少城主那么爱你，那就别怪我借你的光了。
The opportunity Su was waiting for arrived sooner than expected when Mingzhao returns from a palace banquet, her senses dulled by wine.
She was calling for me, her voice thick with drink. Even in her stupor, I was the only name on her lips. But I wasn't the only one listening.
好，我这就去找驸马过来。哎，真是看着无情的人最多情。
Su slips into the shadows, thinking he can replace me in the dark.
少城主，你若是尝过我的滋味，就不会只痴迷于陆云轩一人了。
Mingzhao recognizes the wrong touch and throws him out instantly.
谁让你进来的？滚出去！
Su Jinshu leaves with a threat, but the real damage is already done to the manor's reputation. By morning, the city is on fire with rumors. Su Jinshu made sure he was seen fleeing the chambers in a mess, creating a scandal out of a failure.
Mo Sheng is frantic, saying everyone thinks Su has been taken into the household. But I'm not falling for it. I know exactly what happened, and I know where that fox is hiding.
有人昨晚看到苏公子衣衫不整地从寝殿跑出去，于是他们就说苏公子被少城主给收了房。
He thinks he can use these rumors to force his way back in. He's about to find out that a scandal is a weak weapon against a husband who knows the truth and a wife who has no mercy left.
比你更有资格。
Su Jingshu's obsession has finally reached a breaking point. He's no longer hiding his desperate desire to steal the title of Prince Consort.
He thinks a few domestic skills make him a better match for Mingzhao. I've had enough of his delusions, but he's clearly prepared to go to extremes.
不晕的话会被人起疑的，那我还是装一下吧。
Su uses knockout smoke. I'll play along to see his plan. The plan takes a dark turn when both of them are dragged away by thugs. In a cold, abandoned warehouse, the kidnappers are trying to figure out which one is the real prize.
I woke up to the sound of rough voices. Su Jingshu is terrified, but I need to keep my head clear if we're going to survive this.
说，你们两个谁是驸马？
Facing the threat of violence, Lu Yunxuan doesn't panic. He sees a perfect opportunity to let Su Jingshu taste the consequences of his own ambition.
You want the title so bad? Fine. Let's see if you can handle the weight of the silk you stole. I'll use his own vanity against him.
他身上的月白袍子，那可是驸马才能用的料子，不像我，只能穿别人剩下的衣服。
Watching him struggle to explain why he's wearing my clothes is the only highlight of being kidnapped.
This isn't a robbery. They're here to ruin my reputation.
谁要杀了我们呀？只是想尝尝驸马的滋味。
While Lu Yunxuan negotiates for his life, back at the manor, Xiao Mingzhao has realized her husband is missing. Her fury is cold and absolute as she mobilizes every guard in the city. Mingzhao arrives just in time, her sword cutting through the danger. Lu Yunxuan immediately shifts gears, playing the part of the fragile, traumatized victim.
I need her to see me as the one who needs protection, not the one who just outsmarted two kidnappers. Su Jingshu can scream all he wants. Nobody is listening to him now.
我不知道，我就看见他们两个打起来了，然后自己把自己打晕了，太吓人了。咱们快回去吧。
Danger passes, and the tension turns intimate.
现在没人打扰我们了，要不要去长榻上？我好好给你做个全身检查。
But the kidnapping wasn't just Su Jingshu's doing. Lu Yunxuan has dragged the real mastermind into the light, his own brother, Lu Yongcheng.
I'm done being the brother who takes hits for the sake of family peace. He thought he could hire killers and walk away. He doesn't know me at all.
是我又怎么样？我不这样做，难道看你在少城中府风光吗？要不是你算计我，我怎么会上错床？怎么会嫁给阴死那个半截身体都入土的老东西？
I deliver a lesson in respect my brother won't forget.
这一巴掌，打你不顾兄弟情谊，竟敢勾引少城主，自己心怀不轨，怪不到我头上。这一巴掌，打你竟然敢买凶毁我清白。
I give him one last chance to crawl back into his hole.
我告诉你，当初你能在阴府坐稳正夫之位，是我懒得跟你计较。要是你再敢动那些蠢念头，我能让殷长氏把你捧成正夫，自然也能让他一纸休书把你赶出去。到时候，你连个弃妇都不如。
I'm put in charge of the banquet, a sign of trust and a trap.
奉天承运，城主诏曰：孤诞辰将至，特命驸马全权统筹寿宴诸事，户部拨银50万两以供之用。钦此。
The old guard plots my downfall over the banquet funds.
丞相别闹，不来了。不知道城主这个老女人怎么想的，突然把寿宴筹办交给了那个陆云轩。
The banquet is a test of power, and with the Prime Minister and noble consort plotting to sabotage the event, one wrong move could mean losing everything. Will Lu Yunxuan be the host of the year? Or the victim of a palace conspiracy? The real battle for Yunque City is only just beginning.
往年的寿宴清单都没有这些东西，而且为什么今年要50万两银子这么多？
Lu Yunxuan is now in charge of the city lord's birthday banquet, but he quickly realizes he's inherited a mess of lies and missing money.
I knew noble consort Wen wouldn't hand over the keys to the treasury without leaving a few traps. Looking at these lists, the numbers just don't add up.
While Lu is buried in suspicious accounts, Xiao Mingzhao decides it's the perfect time for a little romantic distraction.
I'm trying to catch a thief, and she's busy playing games. But I have to admit, her focus is definitely not on the paperwork.
我的酒楼遍布全城，置办这些并不难，只是这账册，我得好好琢磨琢磨。
The flirtation escalates as Mingzhao finds a rather creative way to leave her mark on her husband.
She's treating my skin like a scroll. It's a dangerous game she's playing, and I'm starting to lose my concentration.
驸马，你猜我刚才写了什么字？
But the peace is shattered when Mo Sheng arrives with devastating news. The banquet warehouse has been sabotaged.
They think they've backed me into a corner by destroying the luxury goods. If I can't serve a feast for a queen, I'll serve a feast for the people.
寿宴上要用的名贵食材被破坏了一大半，还有那些器具也被破坏了，怎么办呀？
As the banquet begins, the city lord drops a bombshell that shocks everyone in attendance.
I thought I was rid of Su Jinshu, but he's climbed his way back into the palace in the most disgusting way possible. He's now my father-in-law?
宣景贵夫。
The court is horrified as Lu Yunxuan presents the first course, simple food that looks like it belongs on a peasant's table.
Let them mock me. They see crude junk, but I'm giving the city lord exactly what she needs, the heart of her city.
这是什么简陋之物？驸马也敢端到城主的寿宴上？
Lu Yunxuan explains his choice with such grace that the city lord is completely won over.
By bringing the flavors of the common people to the palace, I've turned a crisis into a political victory. The city lord loves the gesture.
城主，少城主曾多次与臣讲过，上次去北境征伐的时候，有很多当地百姓围炉煮肉，好不惬意。都说烟火最能体现民心，今日是城主的寿宴，所以臣特意寻来天南海北的食材。臣是想让城主尝一尝各地百姓的口味，全城百姓都受城主庇护，应当同乐。
Seeing his influence grow, noble consort Wen decides to strike back, accusing Lu of stealing the original expensive ingredients.
He's trying to flip the script. He knows those items were destroyed, and now he wants me to account for the missing money he stole.
还有夜光琉璃盏和银胎珐琅花瓶，怎么如今不见这些器物？莫不是驸马自己贪墨？
Lu Yunxuan reveals that he anticipated the sabotage and set a clever trap to identify the culprit.
You want proof? I'll give you proof. I didn't just guard the warehouse. I marked the intruder with a powder that only reveals itself under heat.
臣恳请您派人严查文贵夫的爱犬，如果身上有淡金色纹路，那便是他擅闯库房的证据。
The evidence is found on the dog, and noble consort Wen is forced to beg for mercy, even offering to kill his own pet.
He's desperate to silence the evidence, but the dog is just the beginning. I'm going after the man behind the curtain.
福瑞只是一只狗，是臣管教不严，让他误入了库房，请城主赐死福瑞，以儆效尤。
With the sabotage exposed, Lu and Mingzhao present the real accounts, proving years of systematic theft by Wen.
I've spent nights cross-referencing these books. The fake records and the cheap replacements, it's all here. He's finished.
这是儿臣与驸马查证时誊抄的账册，请母亲过目。
The city lord's fury is absolute. She orders Wen to be stripped of his status and thrown into prison immediately.
Watching his world crumble is satisfying, but he's already looking for a lifeline. He thinks the prime minister will save him.
账册上写着东珠百颗，实际入库的却都是染了色的淡水珠。借着玉盏10对，实际出现的却是灌了浆的琉璃盏。文贵夫，这也是办事不力。
But the prime minister turns his back on him. In a final act of desperation, Wen exposes the true mastermind.
The snake is finally biting its own tail. Wen isn't going down alone, and he's dragging the most powerful man in court with him.
你居然让我一个人扛！若不是当时你甜言蜜语的哄骗我怎么会为了帮你挪用城主寿宴的银钱？
The conspiracy comes to light as I track every stolen coin.
那这本账册呢？这是袁丞相近3年来的账册，其中每个月都有一笔无名的收入。打给你这些钱的，正好便是文贵夫在外面的私户，而且有工人曾多次看见你深夜从侧门进入文贵夫的院落之中。
With the ledger as proof, the city lord's patience finally snaps. The betrayal by her consort and her chancellor is a stain on the palace that she will not tolerate another second.
Seeing them dragged away should have felt like a total victory, but as the chancellor screamed for mercy, I realized the air in Yunquay City still feels heavy with secrets yet to be uncovered.
罢了，事已至此，我认了。文贵夫，我对你好是真，可若不是你手中握着城主府采买的权利，我又何必花心思哄你？
The court hasn't even finished clearing out the traitors when a new storm arrives at the palace gates, threatening to upend the fragile peace Lu Yunxuan just secured. Prince Adrian demands to marry my wife for a political takeover.
我此次前来，只为求嫁少城主。
Adrian isn't just offering cities and gold mines, he's offering a direct challenge to Lu Yunxuan's position. In Yunquay City, a primary husband can be replaced if he loses a duel of men.
He calls me a delicate jade, implying I'm nothing more than a decoration. If he wants to see what a weak man can do when his home is threatened, I'm happy to show him.
城主，我听闻云雀城有个规矩，想要取代正夫的位置，可以发起挑战。驸马，可敢应战？
Xiao Mingzhao is worried about the prince's hidden motives, but she is even more concerned about her husband's safety in this high-stakes game of pride.
I told her I accepted the match to investigate Moonlight City's movements, but seeing her so protective makes me want to win for reasons that have nothing to do with politics.
轩郎，放心，我对你说过的话字字真心，无论是谁都代替不了你，所以你不用理他。
Even with a war of pride looming, Mingzhao can't help but tease her husband. The tension in the carriage isn't about the coming match, but about her relentless flirting.
We're supposed to be discussing the prince's rebellion, but she's busy making the carriage shake so much the guards think there's an earthquake. Her timing is as dangerous as her sword.
没个正形。这是我与阿德里安王子的比赛，你可别。
The first round of the consort challenge begins, and it's a battle of physical measurements. The prince expects to dominate, but the results leave the entire court in stunned silence.
The prince bragged about his warrior physique, but the tape measure doesn't lie. It seems I've been hiding quite a bit of talent under these consort robes, much to everyone's shock.
驸马现在要是求饶的话，本王子倒是可以让让你，毕竟对付金丝雀不需要真功夫。
The city gossips about my body, and my wife wants to verify the data.
现在整个云雀城闹得沸沸扬扬，不如我们就做点实事，免得辜负了大家的关心。原本只有我知道的事情，大家都知道了。不过呢，今天在大殿上量的还不够精准，不如就由我亲自来为驸马量一量，如何？
The second round is a test of pure strength, crushing walnuts with bare hands. But Su Jinshu is lurking in the corners, ensuring the deck is stacked against Lu Yunxuan.
Su Jinshu thinks he's clever, mocking my physical weakness before the match even starts. He wants me to fail in front of the whole city, but he's underestimated my senses.
驸马体弱多病，我看阿德王子身强体健，那个砂锅般的拳头能打死老虎，不如这场就认输吧。
The prince claims victory as Lu struggles, but the consort quickly realizes the game is rigged. The walnuts aren't just hard, they've been chemically altered.
I could smell the sulfur the moment I touched them. They didn't just want me to lose, they wanted to break my hands. This isn't a competition anymore, it's an assassination attempt.
别人动了手脚，这些核桃都被人涂了硫磺和铁砂混合的涂层，这种涂层遇热会变硬，寻常力道根本无法碾碎。
The sabotage confirms Lu's worst fears. Su Jinshu has formed a secret alliance with the foreign prince, trading the city's secrets for Lu Yunxuan's downfall.
Su Jinshu is selling out Yunhui City just to satisfy his petty grudge. He's promised to be the prince's spy, but he's forgotten that I'm still the one holding the accounts.
好，最好别耍什么花样，否则越都城的弯刀可不长眼。
With the final round approaching, the stakes have shifted from a marriage dispute to a battle for the city's survival against a traitorous alliance.
We know their game now. Adrian and Su Jinshu think they've trapped us, but they've actually just given me the perfect target. I won't let them take my home or my wife.
不管他的目的是什么，我一定不会让他得逞。
苏锦书果然跟阿德里安串通好了，跟人沾边的事儿他是样样不做。禀城主，臣习惯用自己的纸笔作画，还望城主允准。
The final round of the Prince Consort Challenge has arrived, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Su Jinshu, ever the schemer, proposes a literary test to decide who truly understands the young city lord's heart.
I can feel the malice radiating off Su Jinshu. He thinks a painting contest will expose my lack of noble refinement, but he has no idea that a master accountant sees the world in much more detail than he ever could.
苏锦书果然跟阿德里安串通好了，跟人沾边的事儿他是样样不做。禀城主，臣习惯用自己的纸笔作画，还望城主允准。
I use my own tools to avoid their sabotage.
As the incense burns, the hall falls into a heavy silence, broken only by the rhythmic scratching of brushes against paper. While the prince paints a vision of power, Lu Yunxuan paints a vision of the soul.
My painting is a confession of love for the woman behind the warrior.
The reveal of the double-sided painting leaves the court breathless. It's a masterpiece of technique and emotion that the prince's grand military portrait simply cannot match.
世人皆知少城主英勇，但在我心中，他不只是一个上阵杀敌的英雄，更是一个能为一朵海棠花开而笑的寻常人。我希望少城主建功立业，但我更希望他能够平安喜乐，人心所向，直至亲之安处。
With the victory secured, Lu Yunxuan doesn't stop at winning a title. He moves to dismantle the very reason for the prince's challenge, turning a rival into a strategic partner for Yunhui City.
Adrian isn't here for a husband's seat. He's here to save his city. By offering him an alliance instead of an insult, I've just turned a foreign threat into a shield for my wife's borders.
我接到商队消息，越都城近日有叛军作乱。你是想借少城主之势镇压内乱，又怕再起争端。但是呢，我十分佩服阿德王子对于百姓的这份心意。如果你信得过我的话，我可以助你一臂之力，促成云雀城与越都城的结盟。
The prince, moved by Lu's honor, decides to repay the debt immediately. He drops a bombshell that shatters the court's peace, exposing the viper lurking in the city lord's own inner circle.
I watched Su Jinshu's face turn from smug satisfaction to pure terror. He thought he was the one pulling the strings, but he forgot that in a game of shadows, the light always finds the traitor first.
这封是锦贵夫给我的密信， 他在信中说会把文饰改为作画，还买通官员盛赞我的画作，让我赢得比赛。更重要的是，他承诺会暗中动手脚，给驸马准备无法作画的工具，让驸马必败无疑。
I've been waiting for this moment. The iron frost I found on the walnuts wasn't just evidence of a prank. It's the physical proof of his attempt to maim the city lord's husband. There is no escape for him now.
Lu Yunxuan produces the final piece of the puzzle. The rare substance, tracked directly to Su Jinshu's guards, leaves the city lord with no choice but to unleash her fury.
城主，在武士比试的时候，我的核桃被人做了手脚，上面染上这个制铁霜，寻常人根本就无法捏碎。臣特意派人去查了一下，这东西十分难买，只有景贵夫的侍卫买过它，他现在就在门外，城主可以随时传召。
Trapped and exposed, Su Jinshu finally snaps. The mask of the elegant consort falls away, revealing a soul twisted by resentment and a desperate toxic ambition.
He's screaming about being a pet, a plaything. He never understood that respect isn't given because of a pretty face. It's earned through loyalty. His obsession with power has finally burned his world to ashes.
小明昭，我对你忠心一片，你为什么就是看不上我？你不要我，我就嫁给你娘。这一切都是你逼我的。
Mingzhao's public vow makes every struggle worth it.
少城主府的男主人只会是陆云轩，因为我萧明昭此生此世，眼里心里都只有他。
The city lord's judgment is swift. Su Jinshu is dragged away, his cries of defiance echoing through the halls he once hoped to rule. The era of his manipulation has come to a cold, dark end.
I watch him go, and I feel a strange sense of pity. He spent his whole life trying to be someone else's shadow, never realizing that a man's worth comes from his own character, not his proximity to a throne.
男子只为争宠而活，终究下场凄惨。
Peace is short-lived as the drums of war suddenly thunder at the gates. Moonlight City's internal rebellion has spilled over the borders, forcing an immediate and dangerous military response.
I knew the alliance was necessary, but I didn't expect the fire to reach us so soon. My wife is a general first, and I know where her duty lies, even if it breaks my heart to see her go.
男子只为争宠而活，终究下场凄惨。
The farewell is brief but heavy with emotion. In the shadow of the departing army, Lu Yunxuan and Xiao Mingzhao share a moment of profound connection, promising to reunite when the dust settles.
I told her to do what she believes is right. I'll keep the city running, I'll keep our home safe, and I will wait for her return. She's fighting for our future, and I'll be the anchor she comes back to.
刀剑无眼，我不能在身边护你周全，万事小心。
Time passes, and victory returns with the dawn. Xiao Mingzhao officially ascends to the throne of Yunquei City, with Lu Yunxuan by her side, not as a subordinate, but as a partner in power.
Standing before the officials, I realize how far we've come. From a forced marriage to a shared destiny, we are no longer just individuals. We are the foundation of a new Yunquei City.
平身。从今日起，我萧明昭将正式继任云雀城城主之位，必当不负云雀城百姓所托。
The first decree of the new reign is a revolutionary one: equal rights for all. The old systems of gender superiority are swept away, replaced by a meritocracy that promises a future for everyone.
This is the world we fought for. A world where a man isn't judged by his dependents, and a woman isn't limited by her sword. We are opening the doors for everyone to dream, just as we did.
男女本是同根生，并无高低贵贱之分。今日城主推行平权，不是要颠覆旧制，而是为了能够让每一个人都有凭本事立足的公平。
Years later, the grand battles have faded into the background, replaced by the chaotic, everyday struggles of parenthood and household management. Even a city lord can't escape the dreaded calligraphy lessons.
I thought managing the city's accounts was hard, but managing a wife who uses the restroom excuse every time the kids need help, that's the real war. If she doesn't help me with these calligraphy books today, I swear, this marriage is going to see its first real rebellion.
那我呢？我这睡了2个时辰。现在倒好，孩子的事情你不管，府里的事情你不管，连尚书府的烂摊子你也不管，全都我一个人处理。站住！